Hello students, welcome to the science class. So today we are going to discuss the sixth chapter of your textbook, that is life processes. Okay, so four types of important life processes which have been discussed here in this topic in this chapter. And first of all, let's see what are there in this chapter. Okay, first, the criteria to decide whether something is alive. Okay, you are very well familiar about the different characteristics on the basis of which we can classify different things in living organisms and non-living things. Okay, so the most important criteria to decide whether something is alive is movement. Okay, and not only the movement, the other life processes, important life processes, are being exhibited by that thing or not. This is the main criteria. Okay, all living things move without the help of any external help. Some movements are easily visible, like the movements of body parts. Some movements are not easily visible, like molecular movements. Okay, in living things, living beings, many types of internal movements are occurring always. Okay, they may be seen, they might not be seen externally. The molecular movement in cells and tissues is necessary for all life processes. Okay, so on the basis of presence of life processes, we can categorize the things as living and non-living. Now the important question arises here: what are the life processes? What is life processes? Okay, so life processes are the basic processes in the living organisms which are necessary for maintaining their life. The basic life processes are nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. Okay, the important process which are very much necessary for to carry out the life. Okay, are called life processes. So four types of जो basic life processes are there which are to be discussed here. Number one, nutrition. What is nutrition? It is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. Okay, this is called nutrition. There are many types of nutrition, we will discuss one by one. Okay, then the next important life process is respiration, and it is the process by which food is burnt in the cells of the body with the help of oxygen to release energy. Okay, in nutrition, the main food material is taken inside, and by respiration, the food is converted into energy. Okay, energy derived from the energy, and other nutrients are derived from the food. Okay, then third one, transportation. This energy, these nutrients which are derived after digestion, derived from the food, how they are transported to different body parts. If the small body is there, unicellular organisms are there, then uh, this kind of uh, transfer of molecules, it takes place simply by diffusion. Okay, but what about the multicellular higher complex organisms? There a special need of mechanism is also there in plants and animals both. This kind of process is also there, that is transportation. And what is it? Is the process by which food, oxygen, water, waste products are carried from one part of the body to the other part. Okay, complex body is there. So the different kind of organs are there, and their distance is too much, so there is a crucial need of some kind of this transportation mechanism, and this is present in all mostly all the organisms, and it is important life process. Okay, which are being exhibited by the living beings. Fourth one is excretion, and it is the process by which waste product are removed from the body. Okay, so these are the in respect to human beings, these are the different body parts, different organ systems which are involved in these four kind of life processes. Here you can easily find out, this is digestive system, here it is respiratory system, this is the transportation mechanism of our body. Okay, blood transportation system, and here is excretory system. Okay, we will discuss one by one, but in this video we will discuss the first life process, that is nutrition. Okay, so come to the nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body to build the body, for growth, to repair the damaged part of the body, and for energy. So these are the importance of food. These are the importance of nutrients, uh, and the importance of this important process, that is nutrition. So by nutrition we get energy, we get different kind of nutritions, we take food and use it for various body functions like energy, like development, maintenance, regular maintenance of the body, and for repair also. Life on earth depends on carbon based molecules, and most of the food are also carbon based molecules. Okay, all the nutrients, they, those are organic molecules, whether fats, protein, vitamins, all the carbohydrates, all these are carbon based molecules which are useful for us. Now the important topic is modes of nutrition. There are very much diversity among the living world. Okay, so the basic process is nutrition, basic processes are same, but their operation, the mode of operation is different. उसमें कुछ वैरायटी होती है, अलग अलग टाइप से वो इन्हीं लाइफ प्रोसेस को परफॉर्म करते हैं. So first kind of mode of nutrition is autotrophic nutrition. Okay, the word suggests auto means self, which does not depend on other. Auto, automatic. Okay, so autotrophic nutrition. Trophic means related to food, nutrition, and auto means self. So autotrophic nutrition, as the word suggests, it is the nutrition in which organisms prepare their own food from the simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Got it? So autotrophic nutrition, the green plants and other bacteria also, they prepare their own food and they utilize the inorganic material present in the environment and they prepare their own nutrients. Okay. On the other hand, heterotrophic nutrition is the nutrition in which organisms get their food directly or indirectly from the plants. Okay, means they cannot, the heterotrophic, in this type of nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition, the heterotrophs cannot able to prepare their own food and they are dependent on other plants directly, or they may be dependent on the animals which are in turn they are basically depend on plants. Okay, so every heterotroph, it is dependent directly or indirectly on the plants for requirement of their food. For example, all animals, fungi and some bacteria. Okay, now there are different modes of heterotrophic nutrition also. So what are the different types of heterotrophic nutrition? All the heterotrophs, they exhibit different kinds of nutrition. Okay, so further we can categorize the heterotrophic nutrition into basic three types. The one is saprophytic nutrition. Saprophytic or saprotrophic also it is known as. Saprophytic mode of nutrition. In this kind of nutrition, organisms get their food from dead and decaying organisms. Dead and decaying organisms, they break down the food materials outside their body and then absorb it. This is the main difference. This is the main characteristic of this kind of nutrition, that they break down the food material outside the body. They secrete the enzymes, digestive enzymes outside the body. They they transform those complex food material into simpler food components outside the body and then they absorb it. Okay, so digestion takes place out of the body. Okay, for example, the fungi are the common example: mushrooms, bread molds, yeast and some bacteria. These decompose the dead and decaying organisms. They play an important role in our ecosystem. Okay, Next is parasitic nutrition. Parasites. What happens in this kind of nutrition? In parasitic nutrition, it is the nutrition in which organisms get their food from living organisms without killing them. Okay, they derive their nutrition from a living host. This is the main requirement, that they depend on a living host. They directly get benefited, they directly get their food from a living host. Okay, for example, cuscuta plant, orchid, ticks, lice, leeches, roundworms, tapeworms, plasmodium. Remember plasmodium, malaria parasite. Okay, so these kind of organisms, they depend on other living hosts. Like this, you can see here, this is cuscuta plant and it is devoid of chlorophyll, so it does not perform photosynthesis or autotrophic nutrition. So it depends on some support, some nearby plant, and it gets coiled around it and get their nutrition directly from the plant. This is the typical example of parasitic nutrition. These are the fungi, they are the saprotrophs. Now, next kind of nutrition is holozoic nutrition, including human being. Other big animals perform this kind of nutrition. It is nutrition in which organisms take food directly and then digest and absorb it. Okay, what is the difference between holozoic and saprophytic? Saprophytes are depend on the dead and decaying material. Okay, and they secrete digestive enzyme outside the body. But what happens in holozoic nutrition? The food is taken inside the body, it is ingested. The holozoic nutrition, one thing is, one step is uh, very important. One step is always there, that is ingestion. The food is taken inside the body, and then after it, it is digested inside the body. This is the characteristic, uh, uh, characteristic property of this holozoic nutrition. The food is taken inside and then digested. For example, amoeba, paramecium, bird, fishes, human beings, all the chordates, they perform this kind of nutrition. Okay, so I think you become familiar about the types of nutrition. Basically two types: autotrophic, heterotrophic, and there are three modes of nutrition of this heterotrophic nutrition. Now, this we have discussed the different types of nutrition in animals, all the living beings. Now, especially in plants, what kind of nutrition plants used to perform? It is autotrophic. Okay, and the basic process which is responsible for autotrophic mode of nutrition is photosynthesis. What does in this process? In this process, the green plants and some bacteria, what does the what do they do? They use the inorganic materials present around themselves like carbon dioxide, water, and they possess the special pigment that is chlorophyll. And in presence of sunlight, they synthesize their own food by using this carbon dioxide and water. They form glucose. They form this glucose carbohydrate, and in this process oxygen and water are formed. Okay, and oxygen is evolved in the atmosphere. Now, how this photosynthesis process takes place? There are basic three steps in this photosynthesis process. Okay, and many times it is being asked in the examination. Okay, the sequence takes place during photosynthesis. What happens? There are two phases of photosynthesis. One is dark reaction and one is light reaction. Okay, what happens? Photosynthesis takes place in three main steps. They are absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Got it? First of all, chlorophyll absorbs the light energy. In first chapter we have gone through the different kind of chemical reactions. Okay, so here is energy is taken, so it is endothermic reaction, and energy is here in the form of light. So absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Second, conversion of light energy into chemical energy, and splitting of water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, this is the second step. First step, light is absorbed by the chlorophyll. Second step, by utilizing this light energy, the water molecule is broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. Then hydrogen is used for the reduction of the carbon dioxide, and oxygen is given out in the atmosphere like by as a byproduct in the atmosphere. Okay, so third step is reduction of carbon dioxide by hydrogen to form carbohydrates. Okay, so simple three steps are there. First of all, light is being absorbed from by the chlorophyll. Then that light energy is used, converted into chemical energy. It is used to break down the water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. The oxygen is given out in the atmosphere later, and hydrogen is used in the third step, that is reduction of carbon dioxide into glucose. Got it? These three steps take place during the photosynthesis. Here is the simple diagram about the photosynthesis. Chlorophylls are there in the plant, present in the green parts of the plants, and they take carbon dioxide, they take water, and in presence of sunlight, chlorophyll are there with them, and the green plants perform photosynthesis, they release carbon dioxide. Now one question I want to ask here, where from this carbon dioxide this oxygen come from? Whether it is come from, because here water and carbon dioxide both having oxygen, so this oxygen where from it is coming? So you get the answer from this point number 2. So this oxygen came from breakdown of water molecule. Okay, so this oxygen is coming from water, not from carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is, as it is used, it react with the hydrogen and it is converted into glucose. Got it? Now next is about this chlorophyll. You know, the special plant organelle, special cell organelle is there in plants, that is plastids. Okay, and the colored plastids having green color pigment chlorophyll are called chloroplast. So chlorophyll are present in the chloroplast. So what is chlorophyll? These are the green pigment present in the leaves. If we observe a cross section of a leaf under a microscope, we can see cells containing green dots like structures called chloroplast, which contain chlorophyll. Okay, here this is a plant cell. You see here, this is the plastid. Okay, and you can see here is a plastid, and it is a double membrane structure. There the thylakoids are there, and these stakes of thylakoids are called grana. Singular it is called granum. Okay, and it is the fluid is filled here. The fluid is called stroma. Okay, so this is the big structure. You can see here a typical plant cell is here showing chloroplast. Yes, this is the plastid. Actually it is the chloroplast having chlorophyll. It is double membrane structure. The fluid is filled called stroma. The granum is here. So in granum and in stroma, these different two phases, dark and light reaction, that takes place differently. One phase is completed in granum, other phase is completed in stroma. Now one more part of plant is very important in this, that is stomata. Okay, these tiny pores present in the surface of the leaf are called stomata. Okay, these are responsible for the exchange of gases and transpiration. Okay, these are the opening and closing of stomata is controlled by the guard cells, and guard cells perform on the basis of water content. Okay, simple diffusion, the process of diffusion takes place. If water amount increases more, the guard cells gets closed, the water is evaporated outside, transpired outside, then the guard cell used to open. This is the microscopic view of a leaf surface showing stomata. These are the stomata. This is the enlarged view of stomata. Okay, they work on the basis of turgor pressure, the water pressure. Water diffuses into guard cells which causes them to open. On hot dry day, the guard cells have less water, they relax and stomata closed. Okay, this is the adaptation, this is the mechanism that during the hot dry day, the stomata remains closed to prevent the water loss. Now, this we have discussed the autotrophic mode of nutrition, how photosynthesis takes place in the plants. Now, come to this holozoic mode of nutrition exhibited by the animals. The typical example here given of human being and amoeba. In case of amoeba, it is very minute microorganisms, unicellular microorganism. How this holozoic nutrition takes place in amoeba? There are certain steps. Okay, nutrition in amoeba. First of all, food particle, when it found some food particle, some structures, it having a irregular body shape, some structures uh, enlarges, which is called pseudopodia, false fit. Okay, this pseudopodia, they increase in size, they surrounds the food particle and ultimately they engulf the food particle. This process is called endocytosis. It takes the food by endocytosis, and here this step is called taking the food inside. It is called ingestion. It is called ingestion. Then inside the lysosomes are also there, so the food vacuole is created. That food vacuole, uh, the digestive enzymes are secreted, and that ingested food is digested in that vacuole. Here digestion takes place, and after digestion, because it is unicellular organism, so this membrane of across this membrane of food vacuole, the digested nutrients are diffused directly into the cytoplasm, and they transported by diffusion through one organelle to other organelle of the cell, and later this undigested part is remained in that food vacuole, and again it reaches to the corner of that body and it is ingested. Okay, one mistake is here, this ingestion should be here and this egestion should be here. Okay, egestion means giving getting rid of the material, and ingestion means taking inside. So first step is ingestion, digestion, assimilation and egestion. These four steps takes place in the nutrition of amoeba. Okay, now very important case, human being. In human beings, we are the holozoic animals. We exhibit the holozoic mode of heterotrophic nutrition, and we have a special group of organs for this nutrition process. Okay, this is called digestive system. Okay, and digestion takes place here in 5 steps. 5 steps. First is ingestion, then digestion, and after it assimilation, ingestion, digestion, assimilation, and lastly it is egestion. Okay, so what happens, see one by one, and different organs involved here are, you see here, the mouth, salivary glands also, this tube which takes food from mouth and passes it to this sac like structure. This tube is called food pipe. It is esophagus, also known as food pipe. So this sac like structure, it is called stomach. After this stomach, this small intestine, this is small intestine, then This is big green colored showing here. It is large intestine. It is not actually green. And these main, this is called alimentary canal. This alimentary canal or digestive tract, it is supported by these special organ. It is called liver, and here it is pancreas. Okay, these pour their secretions into the alimentary canal and digestion takes place. Okay, first what happens, the food is taken by the mouth, it is chewed. There are four types of teeth present in our mouth. Okay, this chewing and mastication of food is taken place in the mouth, and in the mouth there are three pairs of salivary glands which secrete saliva, and the saliva is continuously mixed in this food during the chewing. This saliva plays two important roles. One, it helps in mastication of this food, chewing of the food, and and it also perform the function of digestion also. Okay, so digestion of starch takes place by the saliva. Saliva contains an enzyme called ptyalin. So this saliva starts digestion of starch. Then this masticated food is transferred from this esophagus, and the passage of esophagus, during the passage of esophagus is does not transfer like it does not, the food material does not move like the water moving in the pipe. It moves into patches, and special it is called peristaltic movement. Okay, the food is converted into bolus. We engulf one by one. Okay, and the bolus is passed by the contraction, rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the epithelial muscles of this lining of this esophagus, and this food is passed to this sac like structure which is called stomach. Stomach carries many important functions. It stores the food for some time. Okay, here food is left for 3 to 4 hours, and here digestion takes place. Here this stomach stores the food, and also this stomach always used to churn the food, and churning, proper churning all is going on every time. And here in the stomach the gastric glands are there which secretes three types of secretion. Gastric juice is secreted inside this stomach. Just listen and watch carefully. Gastric juice is secreted in the stomach. This gastric juice contains three types of components. So what are the three components of gastric juice? First is HCl, the hydrochloric acid. Okay, second is mucus. Okay, and third is a special enzyme, that is pepsin. I am repeating, three components of gastric juice are HCl, means hydrochloric acid, mucus, and enzyme pepsin. So many times the question has been asked from here, what is the role of these components of gastric juice? Okay, so HCl, the function of HCl, it makes the medium acidic, and it kills the germs present inside the food. जो food हम खा रहे हैं अगर उसमें germs है तो यहाँ HCl being strongly acidic, pH वैल्यू 2 होता है लगभग हमारे स्टमक का, इतना हाईली एसिडिक होता है वो, तो इसमें जो जर्म्स है वो सारे किल्ड ऑफ हो जाते हैं, और यहाँ पर जो मीडियम है हमारे फूड का दैट बिकम्स स्ट्रांगली एसिडिक. और एसिडिक मीडियम क्यों हो जाता है, इसका क्या फायदा है? दिस एसिडिक मीडियम स्ट्रांगली फेवर्स द एक्शन ऑफ एंजाइम पेप्सिन. जो पेप्सिन एंजाइम है जो गैस्ट्रिक जूस से सिक्रेट हुआ, ये पेप्सिन एंजाइम प्रोटीन का डाइजेशन स्टार्ट करता है. इट एक्ट्स ऑन द प्रोटीन एंड कन्वर्ट्स इनटू पेप्टोन्स एंड सिंपल कंपाउंड्स. ओके, सो पेप्सिन तभी वर्क करेगा जब एसिडिक मीडियम होगा. सो दिस एसिडिक मीडियम इज प्रोवाइडेड बाय HCl. Then pepsin, the function of pepsin is clear to you. It digests the protein in acidic medium. Okay, and the third thing is mucus. What is the role of mucus? Yes, as we discussed here that the acid is very strong, so this mucus, it protects the inner lining, it protects the inner lining of the stomach. Otherwise we know that acids are very corrosive. So अगर म्यूकस नहीं होगा तो यहाँ पर अल्सर्स हो जाएंगे. तो म्यूकस जो है हमारे इनर लाइन को, स्टमक को प्रोटेक्ट करता है. आफ्टर दिस व्हाट हैपेंस, the digestion of carbohydrate started from this saliva, started right from the mouth, and from stomach digestion of protein started here. Okay, now what happened, this food is passed to the small intestine, and here you see at the starting of the small intestine, this duct, you see the blue color, it is shown by blue color here. This duct takes the secretion from liver, and here a duct takes the secretion from pancreas, and before entering the intestine, these both ducts they fuse and combinedly they pour collectively their secretions in the small intestine. ये small intestine से आने से पहले ये दोनों जो duct है ये फ्यूज होती है, फिर स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में आती है. यहाँ पर जो पार्शियली डाइजेस्टेड फूड जो अभी तक यहाँ पर आया है, यहाँ पर लीवर से एक सिक्रेशन आता है दैट इज कॉल्ड बाइल जूस. एंड ये देख रहे हो आप, बाइल जूस भी यहाँ पर थोड़ी देर के लिए स्टोर होता है यहाँ पर. हियर दिस इज कॉल्ड गॉल ब्लेडर. सो गॉल ब्लेडर में थोड़े टाइम के लिए बाइल जूस स्टोर होता है, एंड अगेन इट कम्स विद द बाइल डक्ट. दिस डक्ट इज कॉल्ड बाइल डक्ट, एंड हियर it is pancreatic duct. So pancreatic duct brings the pancreatic juice, and bile ducts takes here the bile juice. Okay, and this secretion is poured in the small intestine. And what is the function of these? Here the food comes, and with the pancreatic duct, the pancreatic juice is mixed here. Pancreatic juice again contains three types of main components, mainly three types of components. Pancreatic juice के क्या क्या components है? Pancreatic amylase, okay, pancreatic amylase, then trypsin and pancreatic lipase also. ये तीन components है pancreatic juice के, lipase, amylase and trypsin. lipase जो है ये एज, ASE जो सफिक्स होता है, इट शोज एंजाइम्स. ओके, सो लाइपेज, अमाइलेज ये जो है ये एंजाइम्स हैं ये भी. और लाइपेज जो है वो लिपिड्स पर, फैट्स पर एक्ट करता है, फैट का डाइजेशन करता है. लाइपेज लिपिड एंड फैट्स का डाइजेशन करेगा. अमाइलेज वो कार्बोहाइड्रेट का फर्दर फाइनल डाइजेशन करेगा. एंड ट्रिप्सिन, ट्रिप्सिन जो है वो प्रोटीन्स का फाइनल डाइजेशन करेगा. देखिए प्रोटीन का यहाँ पेप्सिन से भी डाइजेशन हुआ है, और फाइनल डाइजेशन स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में होगा पैंक्रियाटिक जूस से आए हुए ट्रिप्सिन से. ट्रिप्सिन फाइनली कन्वर्ट करती है सारे पेप्टोन्स को एमिनो एसिड्स में, जो कि बेसिक यूनिट है प्रोटीन्स की. ओके, और बाइल जूस जो आ रहा है इसका क्या काम है? इसका कोई डाइजेस्टिव फंक्शन डायरेक्टली नहीं है, बट बाइल जूस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बाइल जूस जो है इसके साथ साथ वो एक तो फैट का इमल्सिफिकेशन करता है. ओके, इमल्सिफिकेशन करने से क्या होगा, जो फैट जो है इट इज स्टिकी. फैट ऑयल्स जो है, लिपिड्स जो है वो स्टिकी होती हैं, और वो उनके सरफेस से कोई दूसरी चीज इजीली अटैच नहीं होती हैं. तो बाइल जूस क्या करता है, इस फैट का इमल्सिफिकेशन करता है, जिससे उसका सरफेस एरिया बढ़ जाता है. और जो लाइपेज है, यहाँ से आने वाला पैंक्रियाटिक जूस से जो लाइपेज आ रहा है, वो लाइपेज प्रॉपरली एक्ट कर जाता है फैट्स के साथ, और उसका डाइजेशन स्टार्ट कर देता है. ठीक है, सो बाइल जूस इमल्सिफाइज द फैट्स एंड द स्टार्ट, सो द सरफेस एरिया इंक्रीजेस एंड द लाइपेज एक्ट प्रॉपरली ऑन द फैट्स. ओके, दे दूसरी जो चीज है, बाइल जूस इज बेसिक एंड सम अदर बेसिक साल्ट्स आर आल्सो देयर. सो इट कन्वर्ट्स, यहाँ पर क्या था हमने देखा, स्टमक में एसिडिक मीडियम है, यहाँ से जब फूड आया तो इट इज एसिडिक, बट हियर द ट्रिप्सिन इट डज नॉट वर्क इन एसिडिक मीडियम. थोड़ा सा ध्यान दीजिए, पेप्सिन जो स्टमक में था वो एसिडिक मीडियम में ही काम करता था, तो यहाँ एसिडिक मीडियम था HCl के कारण, बट पैंक्रियास से जो ट्रिप्सिन आ रहा है इट डज नॉट वर्क ऑन एसिडिक मीडियम, it requires basic medium to act on the proteins. So this basic medium is provided by bile juice and some other salts secreted from the liver. So this is the main function of bile juice. Okay, first emulsification of fat, second it makes the medium basic, and on this basic medium it is favorable for the action of that trypsin. Okay, so after this complete digestion takes place here in this small intestine. So far what steps of digestion have been taken? Ingestion of food, taken enough food ho gaya, ingestion, then here digestion started from mouth, it continued in the stomach, esophagus में कोई digestion नहीं हुआ, and it is completed, the digestion is completed here in small intestine. So digestion हो गया, ingestion हो गया, digestion हो गया. Now on later on the small intestine, this ileum section, what happens here? यहाँ पर विलाय होती हैं. ओके, फिंगर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स टू इंक्रीज द surface area of inner lining of this intestine. So these villi they absorb the food nutrient, the digested food को यहाँ पर absorption का काम होता है. This is the third step, absorption. So absorption का काम होगा small intestine में, और इसको फेवर करने के लिए, to favor the absorption, two main evolution are there, adaptations are there in the main features are there in the small intestine. That one thing, the size is long. Okay, the long size, so that the food, the contact of the surface and the food is more and more, so more digestion absorption takes place. Second is to increase the surface area, because absorption is a surface phenomena, so to favor more absorption, more surface area is needed. So the inner lining of small intestine having special folded structures, there are folds, finger like structures which are called villi are present there. So due to the long size and presence of villi, the absorption takes place here in the small intestine, and later the undigested food is transferred to the large intestine, and the absorption of water takes place here in large intestine, and ultimately the undigested food is stored in rectum for some time, and it is egested by the anus. Okay, so the last step is egestion, and here the absorbed food which are absorbed from this small intestine, walls of small intestine, these villi are connected with the blood capillaries, so this nutrient is transferred to the blood, and by the blood, by the transportation system, that assimilation is taken place. Okay, it is transported from here and there. So in this way the digestion in the human beings takes place. I hope आप इसको अच्छे से समझे होंगे. मेन फोकस जो करना है, कुछ टर्म्स आए हैं, माउथ में किसका डाइजेशन स्टार्ट हो जाता है, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स का, बाय द एक्शन ऑफ एंजाइम टाइलिन. ओके, देन गैस्ट्रिक जूस स्टमक में सिक्रेट होता है, उसके 3 कंपोनेंट्स है, उनके फंक्शन. देन पैंक्रियाटिक जूस, उसमें भी 3 कंपोनेंट्स है, उनके फंक्शन. बाइल जूस के फंक्शन. ये थोड़ा सा आपको मेन फोकस करना है. ओके, आई होप ये समझ में आया होगा. नेक्स्ट वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे रेस्पिरेशन की. ओके, थैंक यू.